Hi everyone, my name is John Cottrell and this is a Power Hour yoga practice. So this is a 60-minute vinyasa yoga flow practice. And I'm calling this class Dynamic Shoulders. Dynamic Shoulders. That just because we're going to be working our shoulders today. And mostly our yoga postures that will involve our shoulders will be binding positions. Now, sometimes you need to have some really good flexibility to get into some of these postures, but don't worry about having that flexibility. That comes with time. That's why you might want to use some props today. So the props that I might recommend for our practice, I've got a couple of yoga blocks and I've got just a small hand towel. And I'll show you how we'll be using that a little bit later. A hand towel and a yoga strap. I don't have my yoga strap with me, but you may want to use a yoga strap. I'm not going to use one on purpose because I can show you a variation of how you can get into some of these postures without a strap, okay? But you may want to use one, okay? So again, welcome. We're going to start in mountain pose. So I invite you to stand near the top of your mat. I'm going to be facing you at first. I'll be facing you in some of our postures, and then I'll be turning to the side as we flow. So starting in mountain pose, we have our feet about hip distance apart, toes pointing forward to standing nice and tall. A good balance across the body from left to right. You might even just start to roll your shoulders. Since we're going to be working our shoulders a little bit in our binding positions, just give it a nice little circle, roll them backward, maybe roll them forward, even one at a time if you want. And just to get into our neck just a little bit, just because we hold quite a bit of tension in our necks, you might want to take them side to side, just take your ear down towards your shoulder. You might even nod, look down, and then look forward. Don't worry about looking up. You can just look down and forward, and then just side to side, just to get into the neck a little bit, and just kind of loosen up the shoulders. And then just make your way to stillness. We'll take a few breaths here. So I invite you to take a nice full breath in. You want to feel like your breath is rising upward to really fill up your lungs. Very expansive up top. Then as we exhale, we connect to our center. We draw navel inward towards spine to get that abdominal lock. So we're feeling that contraction here. So again, we want to inhale, feel tall, lengthened, and light. Fill up your lungs with that nice air. Exhale, draw belly in, feel that nice contraction. Do that a few more times, just so you can really tune into your breath, how it moves through your body, as we arrive in this moment, preparing for our moving practice. Go ahead and take 2 more breaths. We're ready to move with breath. We're going to inhale, extend your arms into the air. Treat it like a good stretch. Reach all the way up. And exhale, we'll fold forward. So a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to as you make your way down toward your toes. Now you don't have to touch your toes here. My hands are just right at my shins. Maybe that's as far as you went. Then we're going to inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or your thighs and extend your spine. Feel like you're going forward, being led by the top of your head. And exhale, fold again. I'm going to go a little deeper. And if you do want to touch your toes, I just recommend just bend your knees a whole lot here. And you're welcome to hang heavily forward here and take that ragdoll quality of the posture so you can again kind of shake out the shoulders. So make circles, roll them backward, roll them forward, and then like you're stirring a pot of soup. Okay, just your arms just kind of swinging in circles. Like you're stirring. And you can even loosen up your head and neck. Let's do one more spinal extension. You'll inhale, slide your hands back up to your knees or thighs. Return to this nice flat back like a table. Exhale, we'll fold back down briefly. And start to shift your weight back into your heels. Bend your knees. Feel like you're going to sit down into a low chair. Look forward. Extend your arms out to the side and we'll stand up all the way. Reaching into the air. Exhale, bring your hands together and down to your heart. Just pause here for a moment. Take a breath or two. Let's do that same half salute to the sun. Just getting the body warmed up. Here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms into the air. Exhale, slowly fold forward. Good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees. Make your way down. We'll inhale, slide hands up to the knees or thighs, extending your spine, long, flat back. Exhale, back down to your forward fold. Then again, shifting weight back into your heels, bend your knees, look forward, then inhale, reverse your swan dive, come all the way up into the air, and exhale, hands together and down to your heart. Let's pause for a little bit longer. Reconnect to the ground with your feet. Deep breaths, fill up your lungs, and keep that nice core connection. A couple more breaths. And we'll continue with our full sun salute, Series A. Inhale, sweep your arms into the air, and exhale, we'll fold forward. Inhale, rise up halfway, long, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees enough to place your hands on your mat, and step or walk both of your feet back into plank pose. Let's hold it here for a couple breaths. Just feel that nice extension of the entire body. Feel the hands press strongly into the ground. This also brings some good strength in the shoulders here too. So we're going to inhale, get a little bit more length in the body. Exhale, bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air, and that should guide us to downward facing dog. Even though this is our basic sun salute and warm up of the body, continue to focus on the shoulders as we kind of flow through these very familiar positions, because we're getting into our shoulders, even here in our downward facing dog. If it feels okay, keep pressing hands firmly into the mat, strong arms, and then carefully just kind of sink your chest like you're sending it a little bit closer to the floor. And that too will also get into the shoulders a little bit more, as well as open your chest. Let's take a nice breath in. You're going to exhale, walk, step or hop both feet back up to the top of your mat. We'll inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, come all the way up to standing, reach into the air. Let's keep this moving. On your exhale, take chair pose, Utkatasana, sitting back and down into an imaginary seat. We'll breathe in right here, and exhale, dive out of your seat down towards toes. Here we go, forward fold. Let's inhale, rise up halfway. We'll call it monkey pose. Exhale, bend your knees, place your hands on your mat, and walk or step both feet back into plank pose. Take a breath in. This exhale will finish the push-up if you like, coming down, Chaturanga Dandasana. We'll take an inhale to either a low cobra or even to upward facing dog right here. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Just settle into the pose, take a couple of breaths. Nice pressure into the mat with the hands, strong arms, the gentle sink of the chest. Then we'll continue our flow. We're going to inhale, extend right leg up behind you, reach back. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Next to right hand, turn left heel to the floor behind you. Inhale, reach forward and rise up. We're just going to a warrior one, reaching high. Exhale, we'll fold again, bring the hands back down to the ground. Let's go ahead and step back into plank pose, finishing your push-up if you'd like. You can always take that shortcut right away to down dog and skip this part if you want. And we'll meet together in downward facing. When you're ready, inhale, extend left leg into the air, reaching away. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel turns to the ground. Make sure there's good pressure in that back foot so there's less pressure in the hands so you can easily lift into the air with the hinge of the hips. Exhale, fold. Come right back down, plant your hands, and we'll step right back into plank, finishing your sequence. Upward facing dog, and downward facing. Hold for a moment in down dog. We're going to go to the floor here. You can just kneel down and take a seat, or hop forward, cross your legs to take a seat. Make sure you're sitting in the center of your mat. Go ahead and lie down onto your back. We're going to be moving into bridge pose. So lying down, we're going to bend the knees and just place the feet on the ground. I like to take my feet a little wider here, just slightly wider than my hips. That just feels better on my knees, my hips, and my low back. So you can make that adjustment as you need to. We'll take a nice full breath in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, empty your belly, but don't forget to engage the belly here, and then lift your hips up off the ground. Now this is a heart opener or back bend, bridge pose. And let's go back to our focus on our shoulders. If you're able, rock your upper body left and right several times. And as you're doing so, see if you can get your shoulders a bit underneath you. So I'm kind of getting my shoulders underneath, squeezing the shoulder blades together. At the moment, my arms are still extended. They're on the ground, and my fingers can touch my heels. I'm going to give you several options here. You can keep it like this. If you're able, maybe even interlace your fingers underneath you. That'll really bring those shoulders more underneath you. If that's a little bit too much at the moment, you can always release that. Bend your elbows like this at 90 degrees and press the backs of your arms down into the ground. And that might even stabilize your body, helping you to lift and hold your back bend. Just take 2 more breaths. And then just wiggle your toes forward after that breath. Reach your arms into the air. That should release the shoulders out from underneath you. Roll your way back down to the ground. Let's extend the body here. Extend your legs out front. Reach your arms behind you. Reach. Get a nice extension through the body. And then go ahead and bring knees to chest. Just hug them in. Start to rock forward and back. With a good exhale, rock your way up to seated. Before we get into boat pose, which is what we typically do, let's come to staff pose. So I'm going to have you sit up nice and tall, extend your legs straight out in front of you, and flex your feet. That'll just keep your legs energized. Place your hands on the mat right next to your hips. Push into the ground to maintain your lengthened spine, and we're going to roll the shoulders back and hold them back by squeezing shoulder blades together. Keep your gaze forward. Feel tall in the torso, long in your legs. So we have a nice right angle that we formed in the body, a nice L shape. So this is staff pose or a dandasana. 1 more breath in and out. And now we'll take it to our boat pose. You can soften the body a little bit, start to lean back, bend your knees. And if you lean back more, we can lift the feet up off the ground. If you're holding on to the legs, I would suggest holding on and help lift yourself up. So we maintain that lengthened spine. Lift your chin a little bit to keep your neck long. A few more breaths. Now you can hold on for the duration, or you might even release and reach out. That does involve more core engagement. We're going to breathe in, nice lengthened spine. We're going to move, exhale, cross legs. Hands in front, hopper step back into plank pose. Hold for strength. Again, just getting into the energy of the shoulders. Let's take a shortcut to down dog. Just bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air. Let's continue our lunge sequence. You'll inhale, extend your right leg up into the air behind you. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel turns to the ground. Reach forward and rise up. Exhale, open warrior 2, right there. You can even widen the stance a little bit, lunge a little deeper just to get into the hips. We're also getting to the energy of the shoulders as well, just by sustaining the arms out like this, a nice reaching action. Very good. Okay, let's shift the body forward, or feel like you're reaching out to grab something out in front of you, to angle the upper half of the body, and then rotate your arms here. You're welcome to go lower, where this right hand comes down to the ground or stacked blocks. This is where I typically land, where my forearm is braced on my inner left thigh. Inner right thigh. Okay, for the left hand, after you've extended and reached, or reaching for the ceiling, we're going to bring the left hand down behind you to your low back. You can even roll that left shoulder back. Nice opening sensation through the chest. Few more breaths here. And we'll inhale and re-extend this left arm up into the air. And then we'll turn. Let's bring the hands back down to the ground. Just step all the way back into down dog. Just slide your right foot back, lift your hips into the sky, downward facing dog. Nice re-extension of spine, energy in the arms and shoulders. Then inhale, extend left leg into the air, reach back. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat, right heel turns to the ground behind you, find that balance. We'll inhale, warrior one, reaching up into the sky. Exhale, open to warrior two. Adjust your pose as you need to. I like to go a little wider and deeper. Strong arms, reaching for a few more seconds. Good energy in the arms. Endurance strength is built by holding the arms out like this. Then our side angles will reach forward, angled upper body, rotate your arms. Feel free to go as low as you'd like or stay as high as you need. While your right arm extends high up into the air. And feel a nice opening up through the chest. Stay here, and then bring your right hand down behind you, perhaps to your low back. You want to be able to roll the right shoulder back and hold it back. In a way, you're engaging your upper back muscles. We're also engaging that rear deltoid, that back small muscle of the shoulder, and we're also opening up through the chest. Let's inhale, re-extend right arm up into the air. Exhale, turn. We'll bring the hands down to the ground. Let's step back into plank, downward facing dog. Step back, hips into the sky. Breathe in. We're going to exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet back up to the top of your mat. Stay on your feet. Inhale, extend spine, monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way back up, nice and tall. Reach high. And exhale, hands down to your heart. Good, just take a breath or two. Then go ahead and relax your arms down by your side. And feel free to give them a little shake if you want. We're going to do two balancing postures, two standing balancing postures. And when we do our standing balancing postures, I always start with tree pose. So we're going to do tree pose, and then we're going to do a pose after that that's also a balancing position. So we're starting in mountain pose, getting ready for tree. You're going to shift your weight over to your right foot, so I'm mirroring you. Press right foot down into the ground. Let's stand up nice and tall, lengthen spine, and inhale to really fill up your lungs. Exhale, draw belly in, nice core connection. We'll float the left foot up. I'd suggest flexing the left foot. Swing the knee out to the side or even at an angle, which is fine. Placing foot on the inside of your standing leg. It can be high up on inner thigh, down by your calf where mine is, or even closer to the ground where your toes touch the ground to help you balance. Wherever you are, stabilize, and then inhale. Let's take the arms up into the air. I always keep mine more at an angle like this. It just helps keep spaciousness in my neck and shoulders. And reach. Losing my balance here. There we go. And just reach nice and high. Good. Or keep the arms in place. Let's swing that left knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Lift, plant the foot into the ground, and then bring your arms back down by your side. And then you can give them a little shake. Loosen all that up. Okay, let's do our other side when you're ready. No rush. Stabilizing. Take a breath. And then when you're ready, start shifting your weight over to your left foot. Press strongly into the ground. Inhale to feel that lifting of the spine, get tall. Exhale, pull belly in. We'll float the right foot up now, flexing the foot. We'll swing the knee out to the side or corner, placing foot on the inside of your standing leg, high, medium, or low. Once it's established, and inhale, let's take the arms up into the air. Now they could go straight up like so, or at that angle. Holding. You might want to focus on something that's out in front of you or even down on the floor that will help with your balance as you're focusing, concentrating, breathing. Very good. Let's keep the arms extended. We'll swing the right knee forward. Lift your knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot down. Bring your arms back down by your side, and then you can give it a little shake. All right. So that's round one of our balancing. So we're going to do another balance, and this is going to involve more of the shoulders. We're moving into eagle pose. Eagle pose. We're going to start with the arms, okay? And that's what's going to get into the shoulders. Because the arms come forward, we're really going to be getting a nice stretch and pull sensation through the rear deltoid, kind of the back portion of the shoulder, which of course ties into the back, the rhomboid muscles and trapezius muscles. And that's a nice stretch. So here's how we'll do this. Go ahead and follow me. So you're going to inhale. Let's take the arms up into the air. As you exhale, bring the arms down slowly. Pay attention to your left arm. You're going to bring the arms down and in front of you. Bring the left arm behind the right or underneath the right arm until you're able to make an X like this at your elbows. Spin your palms forward and then lift. And that's it. And so your right arm will just kind of be sitting in the left arm. And then if you're able, wrap this up. And that's how you'll feel how that pull of the arms forward brings the shoulders forward. Now start shifting your weight into your right foot. Bend your knees a little. Again, putting weight into the right foot. Exhale, pull belly in for stability. So you can pick up the left foot, cross that left leg over the right, and squeeze. We're wrapping the left leg over and around the right. So it's a bind. So we have a bind in the legs and we have a bind in the arms. And again, with a little bit of a focus on our shoulders. That little pull and stretch sensation through the rear deltoid. Eagle pose. Getting out of the posture, let's start with the legs. Let's uncross the legs so you can plant your feet. Let's unwrap the arms. Reach out and reach up. Go in slow motion. Really extend so you get a little bit of a stretch. And let's do the same on the other side. You can bring your arms down. Pay attention to the right arm now. Bring it down and behind the left. Crossing at the elbows. Make your X. Flip the palms forward or up, and then lift the arms. Wrap them up as you're able. We'll put a little bend in the knees. Now put weight into the left foot. Really feel rooted. Pull belly in to engage and prepare for balance. We can pick up the right foot, cross that right leg entirely over the left. Some of you might be able to wrap the right foot around the left calf. Not necessary, because mine doesn't do it. My foot is free, but I'm activating the foot by pointing my toes there so they feel strong. But squeeze the legs a little tighter. Squeeze your arms a little tighter. Even feel like you're sending your arms forward. And again, that will get that little pull through the back. A little stretching in the back. Okay, we're going to come out. So uncross the legs, plant your feet. Let's unwrap the arms. Reach out and reach up. And bring your arms back down by your side. And when you're done, you can give a little shake. Very nice. So that's our balancing segment. Let's flow. Inhale, reach into the air. And exhale, swan dive forward. Bent knees. Inhale, rise up halfway. And exhale, bring your hands to the mat. We'll step back into plank pose. Feel free to come right down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. If you can't even roll your shoulders back in this position, exhale, downward facing dog. Let's flow. Inhale, extend right leg up. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat, warrior one. Left heel turns to the ground. We're going to rise up. Open here to warrior two. Okay, let's lunge a little deeper. Endurance, strength building in the arms as they extend. All right, we're going to add a reversed warrior. Flip your right palm up. Let's reach up into the air. This left hand just rests lightly on the left thigh behind you. And just reach up into the sky. Nice extension. Be sure you're still lunging, okay, through that right knee. Good bend of the right knee. Nice extension. All right, now we're going to windmill. Actually, no, we're going to side angle. Sorry, we're going to bring the right arm down, left hand up. So now side angle pose. And bring the left hand down behind you to low back. Roll this left shoulder back. Now this is one option. Another option, of course, is a full bind. Now if your feet are far enough away, lunging deeply, and you're low enough like this right low arm can go underneath, reaching up, maybe finding the left set of fingers, maybe just hooking the fingers if you're able. This is an option. You can do that first version. Take a breath or two. Then we'll inhale, re-extend the arms floor to ceiling. We'll turn to bring the hands back down to the ground. Step back into plank pose. Finish your push-up. Come on down. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, when you're ready. Inhale, extend left leg up. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel to the ground so we can rise to our warrior one. Inhale to lift. Exhale to open warrior two. Settle in. Wider stance. Lunge deeply. Outstretched arms. Endurance strength. Reversed warrior. Flip the left palm up. Reach up. Right hand can just rest lightly on this back thigh. Get that nice side body stretch as you're reaching up into the air here. Make sure you're still lunging deeply. Side angle, just reverse this. So the left arm comes down, right arm goes up, opening up through the chest. And then our first bind, right hand comes down to low back. Stay here if you'd like. Or go lower, so you can actually bend this left arm, bring it underneath you, finding your fingers to hook behind you. Just an option. You can keep that first version if you'd like. Okay, we're going to inhale, re-extend the arms, floor to ceiling. Turn, bring hands down to the ground. We're stepping back into plank pose. Come on down. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to take a seat. You can just kneel down to take your seat or hop forward, cross legs, and take our seat here. We're just going to come back to staff pose for a moment, so you'll extend your legs. Go ahead and extend the legs. I'm just adjusting my mat. So legs extended, flexed feet, hands on the ground by your hips. Nice and tall, shoulders roll back, squeeze shoulder blades together. Nice long neck, keep your gaze forward. Couple breaths. All right, let me just go ahead and relax here for a moment. All right, we're going to do a little bit of rocking the cradle, which we'll get into the hips a little bit. So let's start with the left leg. So bring in your left leg, and here's some options on how you'll do this. To rock the cradle, if you're able, bring this left foot into the bend of your right elbow, if you can, or just place it in your hand if it doesn't go that far. And then the left knee, either bring it to the bend of the elbow or hold on to it in your hand. So you might just be like this, just holding on to the foot and knee in your hands, or you might even have this foot in the bend of the elbow and the knee in the bend of the elbow, or just one of each. And I'm just going to do for this, since I'm mirroring you, I'm just going to put the foot in the bend of the knee, bend of the elbow, and just hold on to the knee in my hand. Again, you want to sit up as tall as you can. This outstretched leg, this right leg, just flex the foot to keep it engaged. Holding here. And this is how you just rock the cradle. It looks like you just have a babe in arms. And you just give it a little rock, just some motion here. We're really just kind of loosening up the hip because we're getting ready for the next part of this pose. Now I'm going to turn and face this direction again and just do the same thing you're doing, just so I don't confuse my left and right. We're going to loosen that up a little bit and go ahead and hold on to that foot and the knee in your hands. And then just give some big circles here. Just some good motion so you're really getting into that circular sensation in the hip. Okay, different directions, even side to side, up and down, just all that great mobility that you have potentially in your hips. Then we're going to take this leg, your left foot, bring it around to the right side over here. We're going to keep the right leg extended. And so we're just bringing this around, so you're just kind of just crossing the leg. Let me just face you so you can see this. So this foot just comes all the way around. We're just really crossing the leg. Okay, kind of tight, and we want that. We're trying to get this knee, this top knee, to kind of point forward, and this foot feels like it's going back behind you. We're taking this into a forward fold. Now this is where that little towel might come in handy, because there might be some potential pressure of this leg against the thigh, that might not feel very comfortable. So you might want to put a little padding right there if you need it, okay? That's why that towel, it can be handy there. So just crossing, even hold the leg in place, get nice and tall as you inhale and just fold. Okay, it's just a forward fold. Now this is actually a variation of cow face pose. We're going to be going into a little bit deeper sensation. We're going to add the arm gesturing in a moment, which gets into the shoulders. But we're doing a modified version for the legs. Typically, both legs would be bent, okay, in this position. But we're going to keep one extended as a variation. So we're doing a cow face pose, seated forward fold. Okay, it's called Gomukha Paschimottanasana. It's just a cow face seated forward fold. We're going to rise back up. Go ahead and uncross the legs here. Let's return to that staff pose. Just sitting up nice and tall for a moment with flexed feet. Let's rock the cradle on the other side. Okay? So it's the right leg now. Foot in the bend of the elbow if it reaches, or just place it in your hand. This knee over here, either in the hand or in the elbow. So you might have one of each. Okay? So just find what feels best for your knee joint and your hip joint. Sit up tall. Okay, and once you've got that sensation, you also, I didn't say this before on the other side, but you want to feel like you're lifting the shin up and hugging it in towards your body. Lift up, pull in. That's what's going to provide that sensation kind of down through here. And then you can just start rocking the cradle, just loosening up those tight spaces. It won't move a lot, okay, and that's kind of intentional because there isn't a lot of space because of the deep positioning. Then we'll loosen it up by then holding on to the foot and the knee and the hands, and then just create space, circles back and forth, up and down, all around here. Just really getting into that leg mobility. So then we can cross the leg. This is where you want to maybe bring in your towel. If you need that little extra padding there. Cross the leg. Okay, it's okay if it's more like this. If it doesn't go as farther than this, then keep it like this and do your forward fold from here. The towel still helps. But if you're able, we're bringing that foot kind of down and behind you. And really crossing the legs here, squeezing the legs together. And this right knee is kind of pointing forward. Both feet are flexed. Holding onto the knee or shin, sitting up tall, inhale, exhale, fold. So this is the first part of our Gomukha Paschimottanasana, cow face seated forward fold. We haven't gotten to the full cow face posture yet. We still need to do some work with the shoulders. That'll come later. All right, let's rise back up. Let's re-extend the legs, even shake them out a little bit. You can come back to your staff pose. We're going to take a reverse plank pose. Reverse plank pose. This is how we'll set it up. Step your hands back like this, and if you can't, keep the fingertips pointing toward your bum. You can even bend your elbows so you're leaning back like this. If your feet are flexed, point your toes now. Really feel like you're reaching towards the front of the room with your toes. Roll your shoulders back. Feel like you're even lifting up through the chest. You're kind of creating a little back bend right here. Inhale, and the elbows are bent, they're squeezing in towards each other. As you exhale, press into the floor to straighten the arms and also lift your hips up into the air, and that creates that reversed plank pose or Purvottanasana. We won't be here too long because this is very dynamic. Again, dynamic shoulders, and then we'll come back down. Now we'll come to our boat pose. Right there. Let's go through another flow. We're going to inhale, lift, exhale, cross legs, roll forward, onto the hands, hump or step back, plank, come down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. We're going to add a few more shoulder things. Exhale, downward facing dog. Here we go. Inhale, extend your right leg up. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat, left heel turns to the ground. We'll rise up, warrior one, and exhale, warrior two. Same setup. Feet a little wider. Lunge a little deeper. Endurance in the arms. Let's reverse the warrior. Flip the right palm up, reach up, left hand down behind you or just by your thigh right there is good. Reach up into the air, make sure you're still lunging. All right, down. We're gonna bend this elbow, right elbow, and bring your hand either behind your head or down to your neck, or even feel like it's sliding down the spine. So this elbow is pointing up. Wherever your hand is, you wanna feel like you can point now with your elbow. I'm gonna take mine are like right between my shoulder blades, my hand. My right elbow pointing up. Now my left hand, my left arm, I'm gonna bend it like this, 90 degrees, and feel like I'm sliding on a belt behind me. Okay, so you can even, maybe you can see my fingers on the other side there. So you can do that like you're sliding on a belt, like that. If you're able, send the left hand up the spine and maybe your fingers meet. That's when you might want to use a strap. If your hands don't touch, use a strap. I'm not using a strap. My fingers are not touching, okay? I'm just wearing my arm on like a belt, right elbow's pointing towards the ceiling. Okay, let's re-extend the arms. Come back to warrior two, down into side angle. Choose your variation of the bind where left hand comes down behind you, hold here, or lower still for that full bind. More shoulder work. Inhale, extend the arms, floor to ceiling. Turn, bring the hands to the ground. Step right back to down dog. Both feet on the ground. The other side. Inhale, left leg extends up and away. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel turns to the ground. We're going to rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Deep lunge. Warrior two, outstretched arms. Reverse your warrior, left hand reaching up into the air. Right hand down by your leg. Okay, we're gonna go for that bind. If you can see me, you'll be able to see this a little bit better. So this left hand will come down behind you. It might come down to the back of your head, to your neck, shoulder blades, or down the spine. Wherever your hand is, you're gonna be able to point with your left elbow. Your right arm, slide it on like a belt behind you. You can just keep it here along the low belt line. Or reach up the spine. Maybe the fingertips touch. Or if you've got that flexibility in the shoulders, you can clasp your fingers or just go grab that. Actually, you know what? You can use your hand towel. Just hold the hand towel between the hands. That's a great prop. We're going to re-extend the arms. Of course, that gets into the shoulders. Come back into warrior two, then side angle pose. Reach out, tip it over. Nice reopening here. Find your bind. Bring the right hand down behind you for first bind, or low enough to take second bind. Now even your second bind, if you can't reach the fingers, use that towel. So something like this. So you really don't need a strap. A towel is actually probably easier to manage. Then inhale, re-extend the arms, floor to ceiling. We'll turn, bring the hands down to the ground, step back to down dog. Let's take another seat. Hop forward, cross legs, take your seat. Get the legs out front, staff pose, just to get some nice extension. All right, we're gonna bend the left leg, cross. Okay, so that cow face leg positioning. So you're crossing tightly. So your left knee is pointing forward, and this left foot feels like it's coming around to the right side, right hip. Nice and tall. Squeeze, that'll help you to stabilize as well. Now let's get that arm posturing. Let's take the arms out to the side, just reaching out like that. Left hand goes up, and then bend the elbow, bring the left hand down behind you to the back of your head. With the right hand, spin the palm so it's facing behind you. Bend your elbows like you're a scarecrow, but then slide your arm on like a belt behind you. This is the variation. Now, you could send left hand down the spine while right hand slides up the spine for the bind, or grab that hand towel. Maybe place it in your left hand, throw it down behind you, and then the right hand can hold onto the strap. Hold onto the strap or your towel. And there's your bind. Then we take our forward fold. Breathe in, exhale, fold. Two more breaths. I kind of took 5 quick breaths here. We're going to rise back up. Let's release our bind. We take the arms out to the side. Lean back. Uncross the leg. So we're leaning back. We're going to that reversed plank pose. So you step the hands back, bend the elbows, point your toes, roll shoulders back, create a little arch in the back by lifting up through the chest. Then exhale, lift hips up into the air, straightening the arms. There's your reverse plank. Come on down, boat pose. Take the seat, lift the feet. Inhale here. Exhale, just set the legs back down. Extend the legs out front. All right, we're just doing the other side now. You can adjust your seat, get that nice staff pose. We're going to cross right leg. Same thing. It's okay if it doesn't cross all the way. But we're working towards getting that little tighter bind in the legs here. Flex your left foot. Have your towel ready or strap if you're using it. Arms out to the side. Right arm was going to go up, bring the hand down behind you. Okay, the scarecrow arm of the left, and then slide this left arm behind you like a belt. This is fine. The hands don't have to be close to each other at all. Or towel down the back, left hand up the spine, holding onto the towel. You can see I'm kind of hunched over here. We want to do our best to sit up nice and tall. Okay, that's really going to get into the shoulders here. Inhale. Exhale, lead with your heart, forward fold. All right, cow face pose, seated, forward fold. 2 more breaths. So this is going to be part of the sequence. We're going to rise back up. Let's release. You might just want to extend the arms out to the side. Bring the behind you lean back so you can uncross the legs. Get ready for reverse plank. Point your toes. Arch the back. Lift up through the chest. Inhale to puff up the chest. Exhale, lift hips. There it is. It's a plank. It's just a ramp through the body. Breathe in. Exhale, take your seat. Boat pose. Breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Hop back plank pose. Just take a shortcut to down dog. With a good exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, extend through spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way up, reach high. Then exhale, bring your arms down by your side. Very nice. All right, go ahead, just shake all that out. Those are all the components of our sequence. So the sequence is going to start in eagle pose. Let me just show you, just watch, get some water or something. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I'll guide you into eagle. To get out of eagle, I'm uncrossing this top leg and sending it back behind me into a lunged position. It'll be a warrior 2. Just going to extend the arms out. So it's eagle pose to warrior 2. We're going to reverse the warrior and bind the hands. Okay, so that's part of that. That's the opening sequence there. Okay, so it's going to start in mountain. I'll guide you into eagle, flowing to warrior 2. All right, let's get set up. Make sure your towel is ready to go for either eagle pose. Well, not eagle pose, sorry. For the binding positions, the cow face pose. All right, starting in mountain, take a couple breaths. Starting in eagle, we're starting with the arms. You're going to inhale, sweep the arms into the air. Exhale, bring your arms down. We're paying attention to the left arm. Bring the left arm down and behind the right. Make your X. Lift the hands, wrap it up. Bend the knees a little. Put weight into your right foot. Exhale, core engagement, cross or lift the left leg, cross that leg entirely over the right. So that's that little tight sensation that we do in eagle, and then we're also doing it in that seated forward fold cow face version. Lift the elbows if you can, send the elbows forward. We're concentrating or focusing a little bit on the rear deltoids and the upper back. Warrior 2. Inhale, squeeze tighter through the legs and arms and belly. As you exhale, uncross the legs. Step the left leg back, unwrap the arms, you'll be in Warrior 2. Reverse the warrior, right hand up into the air, left hand down behind you. And then bind. So elbows bend. Okay, reaching behind you. If your fingers touch, great. If they don't, that's great as well. Still lunging deeply. We're pointing with this right elbow towards the ceiling. Left hand, I'm almost at the shoulder blades here. My fingertips are almost touching. Re-extend the arms. Side angle, right hand comes down, left hand goes up. Nice opening there. First bind, left hand down to low back. Second bind, if you want to, find fingers or grab your towel or strap, holding on to that. Left shoulder in this case really rolling back and opening up through the chest. Dynamic shoulders here. Inhale, re-extend your arms, floor to ceiling. Turn, bring your hands to the ground. Step back, plank pose, come down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're taking a seat. We're gonna hop forward, cross legs, take a seat. Extend the legs out front, quick staff pose to a line. We're crossing left over right, squeezing thighs together. Arms out to the side. Left hand goes up, drop left hand down behind you. This is where you can use that towel if you want. Drop it down behind you. Right arm can come to wear like a belt behind you, or if you've got that towel or strap, hold on to it. Sitting up as tall as you can, look forward. Point with that left elbow. Inhale, get tall through the torso. Exhale, hinge forward. Let's hold for a few breaths. Rising back up, releasing the bind, remove the towel. Maybe arms extend out to the side. Bring them behind you, lean back, uncross the legs. Good, point your toes, roll shoulders back. Puff up through the chest, inhale. Exhale, reverse plank, lift. Dynamic shoulders. This is getting in the front deltoids, the front part of the shoulders here. Take a seat, boat pose. Good, that's our sequence. Breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Hop or step back, plank pose. Stay in plank. Take a shortcut to down dog, bend your knees. Going back up to standing. Exhale, hop forward. Stay on your feet at the top of the mat. Inhale, extend spine. Exhale, fold. Let's reverse the swan dive. We're going right into eagle, other side. Inhale, reach up into the sky. Exhale, bring your arms down. Pay attention to your right arm. It's going to come down and behind the left. Cross at the elbows, make your X. Lift the hands, wrap the arms. Bend the knees a little bit, put some weight into your left foot. Root, feel strong. Core connection as you exhale. Let's lift the right leg, cross right leg entirely over the left. Squeeze tightly. Arms, legs, and belly. Lift the elbows a little bit. Send them forward a little bit, getting into the rear portion of the shoulders. We're inhaling to squeeze tighter. We're going to exhale and cross the right leg. Step that right foot back behind you. Warrior 2. Unwrap the arms. Extend the arms. Reverse your warrior. Left hand up. Good. Bring that left hand down behind you. Right hand up behind you. Maybe bind if they reach. Don't worry if they don't. But do point with the left elbow. That'll help that side stretch. Make sure your left knee is lunging, bending. We'll inhale, re-extend the arms, side angle. Bring left arm down, right hand up. First bind, right hand down behind you to low back. Stay here or go lower. Feel free to grab that towel if you want, or your bind if you like. Remember your right shoulder, trying to roll it back to open up through the chest. Just engaging some of those shoulder muscles there. Inhale, re-extend the arms floor to ceiling. Turn, bring your hands to the ground. Step back, plank pose, finishing your push-up. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're taking a seat, hop forward, cross legs, take your seat. Dandasana. That staff pose, just to elongate through the body like that. Crossing right over left, bend the knee. Squeeze legs. Arms extend out to the side. Right arm up, drop that hand down behind. Left arm slides on like a belt. I'm going to do this variation like this. My fingers are not even close to each other. But still trying to sit up tall, right elbow pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale for that length. Exhale, fold. Okay, from here, you can also use that towel between the legs here if that's a little bit too much pressure. Couple more breaths, almost done. You're going to rise back up nice and tall. Re-extend the arms out to the side. Bring them down and back behind you. Lean back so you can uncross the legs. Point your toes. Roll shoulders back. Inhale, puff up the chest, that little back bend feel. Exhale, lift hips away from the ground. Reverse plank. See if we can hold this a little bit longer. Really lift. Push into the ground with the hands. Point your toes, lift your hips. Then take a seat. Boat pose, just to finish. All right, just bring your feet to the ground. Just take a comfortable seat here. You might just cross your legs if you'd like. Very nice. Go ahead and extend both arms out in front of you like this. We're going to just do a little quick stretch here. I'm going to try to mirror you. So you're going to bring your left arm across the body, take your right hand and just use that hand just to bring that arm in as you're reaching. So again, just kind of a little pull and stretch, kind of targets all parts of the shoulder here as you reach across the room. Just a gentle stretch. Nothing too dynamic here at all. Making sure you're still square, meaning your torso is tall and facing forward. And we'll release, and you can do the other side. Maybe 5 or 6 breaths is fine for this. Excellent work. And go ahead and release. You can even shake that out a little bit. And when you're ready, go ahead and lie down. If you like some extra padding, this is where your blanket, if you're using a blanket, comes in handy if you want to lie down on something soft. As you lie down, go ahead and bring knees to chest. A little hug here. Maybe some circles. Side to side, rock forward and back. Again, you can really find the freedom of movement here as you'd like. Whenever you're ready, go right into a twist. You might even start with a hip opener if you want. So actually move in the way that feels good for you. So if you rather do a hip opener, move into that pose first, and then you can do your twist later. Wherever you are, whether you're holding a hip opening posture or if you're in the initial part of the twist, just notice your breathing. If you're finished with that first side in the twist, take the other side. Again, noticing the quality of your breath. Hopefully able to move into slow, deep breathing. Take as much time as you need in these final movements. When you are complete, Make your way back up to center and find a nice relaxing posture. Might be Shavasana to finish, or any other restorative yoga posture. Just hold in that relaxing position for the next couple of minutes. In stillness, just notice your breath. Stay where you are. Notice your breathing. And as you come back to this awareness of your breath, I invite you to take 5 slow, deep breaths. Feel movement begin to return to your body. As you feel movement begin to return, slowly and carefully roll onto either side of your body. Hold here in this nurturing pose for a few breaths. And then continuing your slow movement, guide your way up to seated. If you're still in Shavasana, that's perfectly fine. You can stay right where you are, only move when you're ready to move. If you are making your way up to seated, just find a comfortable seat. You might cross your legs, you might sit on a prop, and even extend your legs. And again, once you're in this seated position, you might just have your arms just down by your side, very relaxed. Notice your relaxed shoulders, hands just resting in your lap if you'd like. Keep the hands down in your lap or bring hands to heart center. Go ahead and take one more full breath in and out. And as we complete our practice together, we bow saying Namaste.